On this week's Waypoint, Spectator mode gets some exciting new UIs, Skarner's new E, Janna's legendary skin, and the NALCS recap for Week 8. What's up guys, and welcome to Waypoint, your weekly League of Legends recap for August 15th, 2013. I'm your host, Mike Shaffnet. Now first up, there were some exciting features for Spectator mode that are making an appearance on the PvE, the first of which being the Dragon and Baron spawn and respawn timers. Just in time for playoffs in the World Championship, Riot Broken Swords Team Strikeforce has created timers that will appear 2 minutes before the monsters spawn. Once they do, the timers will display the text live before fading away shortly after. If that news wasn't exciting enough, lead designer Kate is looking for feedback on a new feature that's been added to the PvE called Teamfight UI. This new UI comes equipped with an ult and summoner spell status, a death timer, a loss of control icon, a pentakill counter, and a team health bar. Since not all players are typically present when a team fight begins, the Teamfight UI will also analyze the playing field, presenting you with easy to understand visual information about who is or isn't a part of the battle. I've got to say, I think this UI is going to be a great feature added to the game, especially for new players who are getting involved with esports. It can be utter chaos when you're trying to watch a team fight, and this is just a great way to centralize all the important information so that you can watch which team has the better advantage. Some quick changes to champions and items have been pushed to the public beta environment. Master Yi's attack speed growth has been lowered to 2% per level, and meditate damage reduction was slightly increased. Shen's Feint Shield was lowered, and Zack's Let's Bounce tooltip got a text change. As for items, Spirit's Visage and Frozen Mallet got a price increase. Frozen Mallet will now cost 3,300 gold, and Spirit's Visage will now cost 2,750. Trinity Force had its movement speed decreased to 8%, and its two passives Rage and Spellblade changed. Rage will now grant 20 movement speed on hit and 60 on kill, while Spellblade's bonus physical damage is now up to 200%. Riot Scruffy is back with more updates on changes that are in internal testing for Skarner's E. He goes on to say that we are trying out an iteration of E that is a bit more like the old one in usage. But there are also some other changes that help fit nicely into his new gameplay pattern. The new iteration of E is as follows. It's a free-cased line nuke like the E currently in-game, but the range has been increased by about 20%, and the width decreased by 20% as well. It deals magic damage to targets hit and now slows them depending on rank for 2.5 seconds. The goals here were to retain the fun and diverse gameplay of the line nuke. The free targeting and skill shot feel of the E is a nice change of pace from Skarner's other melee-focused abilities. Riot is also trying a longer, less slowing version that's a bit wider, so that targets of the E have an opportunity to dodge it. IronStylus spoke up on champions that have upcoming skins in the works, but did state that releasing skins hinges on a number of factors. Some of the champions like Zed, Zyra, Thresh, Nami, Skarner, Kha'Zix, Rengar, Syndra, Victor, and Vi all have complex issues when designing skins, and you can find those details by clicking the link in the description below. Aside from those specifics, certain things can constrain production, mostly visual effects and animation, but both of those are heavily valued when it comes to what players enjoy about new skins. IronStylus also gave us a quick history lesson on the newly announced Arcade Hecarim. He says that the skin was a product of one of their Thunderdomes, a span of 2 days where everyone gets into groups and burns out a project that they want to see happen. Now it could just be me, but I think Riot created the love child of Neon Cat and Robot Unicorn Attack. In even greater champion skin related news, Riot revealed the brand new legendary skin for the Storm's Fury Janna. For only 1,820 Riot points, you can get your hands on a new character model that's reminiscent of your local nightly news, and wield inclement spell effects such as a radar map shield on Eye of the Storm, a cloud companion on Zephyr, and even more violent monsoons and howling gales. These broadcaster-inspired animations look as good as they do in the newsroom as they do on the fields of justice, and will feature meteorological lingo and diverse weather forecasts.
Surrender is likely with high-pressure systems all over the map.
Alright, now that we got the news out of the way, we're in Week 9 of the NALCS Summer Split. Since those matches are underway at this very moment, let's recap on some of the matches from last week. Dignitas vs Cloud9 had all-around good plays by both teams. Dignitas seemed to have the upper hand most of the game from good jungling by Crumbs on Jarvan. The match ended in a massive foot chase that led to Cloud9's victory, but was it just me or did anyone else want to play yakety sax over the top of it?
High comes in, flash force by PewDiePie. They're still chasing.
How many flashes do these guys have? Every skill shot seems to get dodged at the last possible second.
Next up, Team Coast versus CLG. Both teams played a decent game, but well-timed CCs by Team Coast gave them the advantage and overall win. Double Lift had an amazing buff steal with Ezreal and won an incredible duel 1v1 versus Scion Spartan on Shen. Vulcan versus Velocity was a one-sided match the entire game. Vulcan simply stomped Velocity in every turn, including a baited team fight, which resulted in a 3-for-4 trade in Vulcan's favor. It finally ends with an ace, which secured the victory for Vulcan. TSM vs Curse resulted in some amazing team fights by TSM, which ultimately gave them the win in the end. However, Cop lands an incredible save on Dyrus, sparing Saint Vicious, and a great triple kill and ace by Edward on Zyra. Moving on to some of the exciting matches of Day 2, Curse vs Cloud9 was a quick victory for Cloud9. A nice save by Edward on Nami blocking Sneaky's Ash Arrow, which allowed Jackie not only to survive, but also secure first blood for Curse. High landing an unofficial Quadra and ace on Kassadin, and a 5-for-0 team fight for Cloud9 gave them the win. TSM vs Dignitas was a pretty close game overall. Dignitas ended up with better team fights in the late game with chained ultimates by Crumbs and Patoy on Jarvan and Sona. A great team fight by Dignitas secures them Baron, and a crazy double kill by IMQDPie on Ezreal. Next up, Cloud9 vs Velocity, with Cloud9 bringing their A game to secure the win and first place in the Summer Split LCS a full week in advance. Chris on Rumble turns around first blood with the help of Echo on Twisted Fate, and to finish up, Cloud9 trades 4-for-1 for the win. Now, it comes as no surprise that Riot has been doing a phenomenal job delivering and developing their lore. With incredible in-game comics like the one for Udyr, having the lore presented to us is a great way to get us involved in a story. Not that the story wasn't there to begin with, we just really didn't want to take the time to read it. And that's why Audible.com is such a great service. With hundreds of audiobooks available right now for download, have your favorite stories presented to you instead of reading a 300-page novel. With a plethora of video game related topics to choose from, there's something for everyone on Audible.com, and if you head on over to audible.com/gamebreaker, you can sign up for a free 30-day trial and even receive a free audiobook to get started right now. Last up here on Waypoint, I like to take a look at in-game sales and the free-to-play champions for this week. Right now, there are 4 Flex bundles on the Riot store that will be available until August 19th, and the prices of these bundles will also scale based on what you already own. Last up is the free-to-play champion rotation for Season 3, Week 28, and that includes a Mumu, Blitzcrank, Darius, Miss Fortune, Orianna, Quinn, Tryndamere, Vi, Ziggs, and Zillion. As usual, if you like and want to purchase any of these champions, their entire cost, whether it be IP or RP, can be found in the description below. That does it for this week's episode of Waypoint. Be sure to check back every week on Thursday for updated League of Legends news. If you guys like this video, please head on over to YouTube and check out LOL Nation TV and subscribe and comment below as it helps spread our audience. I'm Mike Shaffnet. You guys can follow me on Twitter at Mike Shaffnet. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys at the next Waypoint.
Game Breaker TV.